All right, so Ghost Ambush skill tree. There we go. Essences of Alteration. Now this is important. Everybody take notes, okay? Best place to farm for a cleaver. It's basically just the run to Logorian. Okay, this is what your tree starts with, right? You get here, you got nothing. What do? The most important thing that you can possibly do early on is get more Essences of Alteration. Holy shit. Oh, the music sucks though. Oh, and the picture isn't even as good as I thought. I'll try this one. It's not bad. Okay. Anyway, the most important thing you can do is get more essences, right? You get 10 essences from completing the quest, which is not that many, but it's enough to get you started. Ideally, you have like 1 or 2 more from all the quest dens that you've done up until then. But, you know, even if not, even if you only have 10, you got to be quick, man. There's a lot of waifus out there. You gotta move on to the next one. This is basically the most important node early on, right? Assuming your build is able to kill ghost heroes, this is the most important node early on, because this is what's going to create heroes in your ghost ambushes. But you can't get here until you have it costs 3 points per point that you put in here, right? And B, you need 1 point in number 2, which is this little fella right here. And you need 4 points in number 3, which is this little fella right here. So you can see they're all connected, right? They all have little lines all over the place, and the lines kind of sort of tell you what you need to know. It's not super obvious, right? Like these two are connected, but that doesn't immediately tell you anything. But you can look at it and see what it says, right? So this says, this is node number 4. I need a point in node number 2, which is right over here. And I need 4 points in node number 4. No, node number 3. I'm sorry, number 3. There you go. So, kind of like PoE, yeah. It's kind of like the Atlas, not the Atlas, the Atlas skill tree from PoE, because you're customizing your ambush experience, you know. So I need these two. These two are connected to this one. So this one starts everything, right? This is the one that you start off with a 0% ambush chance. It's a little bit too loud. Thank you, though. And when you put 1 point in here, so your very first point is going in here, you put 1 point in here and that enables ambushes. We put 1 point in, we now have ghost ambushes from chests. Big, beautiful chests can contain ghosts that will attack you. 8% chance, right? You can put more points in here for higher chances of ambush, right? If you look up at the top, it tells you what you currently have on the left and what you will get on the right when you spend whatever the thing is. Hot, violent, single ghosts in your area. So now I have an 8%. If I spent 1 point, I would have an 8.5%. Level it up to increase your chances of ambush, right? But again, this is not the most important thing early on. The most important thing early on is here. This little fella right here. Hero Hunters, right? So we put in 1 point there. That lets us put 1 point here because we need 1 point here for Hero Hunters, right? 1 point here lets us put points in here. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see it changes the color of the line also once it's like enabled for you to do things. The color of the line is not really dependable, but recommend maxing 1 first. You think over getting to heroes first? I feel like heroes are way more important. Like I would rather have an 8% chance with a hero in it than a 20% chance with no hero. Really? Okay. All right. Well, my strat would be to go here and then upgrade the heroes to have 3 heroes. And you have an 8% chance, right? 8% chance, but you get 3 heroes in an ambush, and each hero has a 30% essence drop rate. Or you go for the full ambush chance build, right? The percent. So in any given like base level ambush with no upgrades at all, it'll tell you what you have. So you have an 8% ambush chance. Your ambush will contain 5 hunters, five ghosts, right? And 2 of those ghosts will be champions. Oh, the percent drop rates. So white ghosts, regular basic bitch ghosts, have 3% drop chance. Champions, which is the yellow name guys like Matt, right? They're not heroes, they're just yellow names, have an 8% drop chance, and then heroes have a 30%. So that's why I like heroes so much. But it does feel giga bad to have an 8% ambush chance. When you have an 8% ambush chance, when you have an 8% ambush chance, you are going to believe that you are bugged and that you are not getting ambushes and that the mechanic is broken. It's a very low chance. You are going to believe that you are bugged. So it does feel a lot better to increase your ambush chance. But it does work. It does work. There are cases where people have been bugged and resetting your game fixes that. But it does work. And I, again, prefer the hunters. But if you wanted to go for ambush chance, right? So we put our first one in, that gives us 8%. We go up 1, it gives us 8.5. We go up again, it gives us 9, right? If you start with, if you didn't get lucky and you start with just the 10 from doing your first quest and you put them all in here, then you have a 12.5% ambush chance per chest. Just get unlucky, yeah. But again, the whole idea, the whole thing is that early on, all you want to do is increase your chances of getting more essences. So whether that's more ambushes or more heroes or whatever, like however you want to do it, you can do it. So this is your ambush chance. This node right here is your total number of ghosts in the ambush. That's total number, right? So that's white ghosts and champions and heroes is all going to be limited by this right here. So if I have this and I like put, oh, I don't care about this node, fuck that, I want champions, and then you gigamax your champions and your ambushes are going to have 8 champions in them, except your ambushes can only have 5 to 6 total ghosts, so you're only going to have 5 to 6 champions, right? So you're limited by this 3% each time. I mean, that's just the way it was before. Like they've just changed it, right? It's different. It's fair to feel like it's better or worse. It's understandable if you liked it the other way better, but this is just the way it is now. I would like it if it had some kind of a pop-up of what your ambush chance is, but the reason why it does that, or the reason why it doesn't do the pop-up anymore, is because it's always the same chance, right? It's not incrementing as you open chests. It's just always a 12.5% or whatever it is. Got your first essence. Nice. Good shit. Put it in your tree. Put it in your tree. So everything you do here is to get more essences, right? Everything you're doing early on is to get more essences. You'll see other nodes on the side that are like, oh, they drop extra items. Oh, that sounds cool. Or, oh, they have craft material drop rates. Whoa, like you want that, right? You do want that, but you want that after you max out these first 4 nodes, right? The basic 4 nodes. Ambush chance, number of ghosts, hero ghosts, and number of champions. Those are the ones. Those are the most important things. And after that, it's also probably best to max out your essence drop rate from those ghosts. Again, you want to max out the number of essences that you get. It is the most important thing. Softcore heroes, hardcore champs. Yeah, I mean, it just this is the reason why it's so cool, is that you can do whatever you want. Like for me, when I was playing through, I had no problem killing the heroes as I was leveling up. So I maxed out heroes because I feel like that's the greatest increase in essences per hour or whatever, right? But if you want to kill something that still has a pretty good essence drop chance but is not deadly at all, champions are great. If you want to just kill a shitload of white mobs because you're an AoE build, max out just your raw number of ghosts and don't worry about these two until later. No, so this is a common misconception, and this is like a Grim Dawn naming thing. Heroes are stars. Champions are yellow names. There's no skull. I mean, skull is Nemesis, I guess, but you don't worry about that. So heroes are the named ghosts, right? Heroes are Max the Buddy or Tazosaurus or whatever it is. This is where those come from. So if you can handle the challenge, heroes are your best source of essences. And again, this node is really, really important. This node for number of total hunters is really, 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 really important also. Like, you do want ambush chance, you do want heroes. I would say you want those two things first, but this is also really important. All four of these are really important. You can also increase by 5 at a time instead of 1, right? Once you have plenty of essences. Early on, again, I know, I keep repeating it, I know. The main thing that you want is to get more fucking essences. So, like, if you do a ghost camp and they drop 1 essence, you should probably come back to the skill tree and put it in your skill tree. Because that 1 essence is going to make it faster and easier to get more essences, right? Don't hoard your essences. Don't play for 5 hours and then spend 20 essences at once. You should spend them as you get them. Points for killing Theo? I have no idea. It'll tell you on the website if it's a challenge for points or not. But yeah, so spend them as you get them, right? Spend them on whatever you feel like is appropriate. Once you have these 4 basic nodes maxed out, hero chance, or number of heroes, number of champions, total number of ghosts, and ambush chance. So this is like your base tree that you want. 20% ambush chance, 20 ghosts in an ambush, 3 of them are heroes, 8 of them are champions. You're going to get a pretty good essence income from that. That's what you're looking for. And then after that, if you still want to continue your essence income, and I would recommend it, you're looking at essence drop chance nodes, and you can either go for heroes or champions or white mobs or whatever it is, right? You could also choose to go for like craft materials, depends on if you want to. The nodes like that get much more expensive, right, around the outside. So craft materials is 10%, or I'm sorry, 10 essences, as opposed to these, which are like 1 each, right? So they get more expensive the more like weird shit that you do. Another thing is this right here, this node on the hero node gives you a chance for extra hero spawns. So like I have 3 heroes in every ambush right now. And if I do that, I have a 2.5% chance for it to be 4 heroes. Can your build handle 4 heroes? You gotta answer that question for yourself, brother. But if it can, this will increase your essence income, right? Because more heroes is more essences. If you increase it all the way up, and I think it was expensive, right? Yeah, it's 5 points per thing in here. And there's breakpoints that are more or less valuable than others, and I haven't bothered to worry about the specifics of the breakpoints. But if you max it all the way up on this node, you have a 7% chance for 1 to 3 extra heroes. Options and flexibility, yeah. Yeah. And another really cool thing, again, you get crafting materials, you get scrap, you get, you can, they all tell you what they do, right? I'm not going to go over every single node. There's a lot of cool shit. One of the coolest things on here that feels super fucking sick and may or may not be a good idea if you're in hardcore is this node over here that gives you a % chance for additional ambush. So if you max this out, you have a 5% chance to get double ambush when you open a chest. And that shit is sick. But you shouldn't do that if you don't have a build that you're super comfy in. Max everything. Yeah. I mean, it's essentially you want to max everything eventually, right? Some of the shit gets very, very expensive later on. But ideally, you want to max everything. You can fight 4 Nemesis ghosts from a single chest, potentially. Omega Rippy, yeah. It's it's fucking absurd. Yeah, don't do that. Another thing that's I think some people get caught up on is never seen more than 6 heroes. I mean, it's got to be possible. I've gotten an ambush with a Nemesis and 3 heroes. I'm pretty sure you can get more. I'm confident. Yeah, it's good. It's pretty rough. Another thing that some people get tripped up on is this first node over here on the left says ghost ambushes are active. So ghost ambushes are active is true. And if you spend 1 point, it disables ambushes. So when you talk about fully filling out your entire tree, don't put a point in this node. Okay? If you put a point in this node, your entire tree is deactivated. Luckily, it's really easy to take a point out. Just know that this is not... Just read it, right? Read what it says. Use your eyes. Please, I beg you. Use your eyes. And then, so, you know, you're doing shit, right? You're in normal, you're pumping your tree, everything's great. You're ready to go to ultimate. The tree is per difficulty, right? The tree does not carry over from normal to ultimate. It's Grim Dawn, it's engine limitations. We're playing Titan Quest 1.5. The tree does not carry over to ultimate. Per character, per difficulty. This shit is not account wide, okay? So if I'm in normal and I have a sick fucking tree and then I want to go to ultimate, I take my points with me. I click on the first node and it says refund entire tree. I use my eyes and it says refund entire tree. I read the words that it says and it says refund entire tree. And I click on it and it says, "Are you sure?" And I say yes. And it makes a loud fucking noise. Because you just looted hundreds of essences all at once. And there you go. You have your whole tree back, right? And when you get to ultimate and you want to remake your tree, it's got increase as much as possible on a lot of them. I don't think all of them have it, but you just remake your tree how you want. So now that I'm ready to unfuck my tree, I'm just going to increase as much as possible, and I'm going to do all of the things that I want. Like I'm putting a point in here for hunters drop 1 extra item. I don't know what the fuck that does. This says, and I'm not even reading it. I'm going to tell you to read it. I'm not going to read it, but it gives them an extra item, I guess. I don't know, right? And I know that I have enough points to kind of fuck around. I have, you know, I've got 1,000 points. I'm rich. So I'm just going to fill out all these things here. Yeah, I don't think difficulty affects it at all. But I'm buffing all of my essence drop chance. I'm getting the crafting materials because this node for crafting materials, again, once you have enough essences for it, the node for crafting materials is sick as fuck. And I have hundreds of seals of binding in the bank. And I don't have to farm them because of this node. That's fucking cool, you know? I have 5% double ambush because my build is giga strong and I can handle it, you know? I have scrap drops. I don't ever have to scrap anything again because I have free scrap dropping. And so I'm like, I'm filled out, right? I have what I want here. I have 225 essences left over. I can turn on Nemesis. Yeah, you get blooms also, yeah. Daisy. 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 I know. I can turn on Nemesis. Nemesis is attached to the skill tree. It only costs you 5 little points to unlock Nemesis. Don't do that. Don't do that, okay? Don't unlock Nemesis until you're ready. But it's pretty cheap to do. You can get a 5% Nemesis chance. What's she saying? She's mad at me. She wants to chew on her paws. And then I haven't actually fucked around with Nemesis stuff very much yet, because Nemesis is still like super monka. So I don't have answers for all of this. But like this node right here, you can see this says 1 hunter in a Nemesis ambush, next level 1 to 2 hunters. If I increase as much as possible, then when Nemesis procs, it will be 2 Nemesis. And there's a 5% chance for an additional ambush. And there's a 5% chance for your additional ambush to be a Nemesis ambush that will have 2 Nemesis in it. So, bought a 5th wheel camper. Man, life is rough, man. I don't know what to say. If you're never going to be ready, that's okay too. You never have to enable Nemesis if you don't want to. This is part of the beauty of the tree. You don't ever have to fuck around with Nemesis if you don't want to. I mean, you're not going to get the challenge points for it, right? But you don't have to. Just don't ever turn it on. Or, and this is what I did, right? I turned them on. I killed the Nemesis. I said, that was a lot of fun and I don't want to do it anymore. And so I took my Nemesis points back out, and now I don't have Nemesis anymore, and that's sick as fuck, right? That's good shit. Hey, I should put a point in here now that we're doing Boundless, right? Ambushes have an extra chest in Boundless Dungeons. I believe this is only starting in Boundless 3 and higher. I'm not 100% sure about that. Box, I will have some water. Thank you. What did you order? Getting multiple Perenna. I don't know if you can get multiple of the same in one ambush. I know they changed it so that it's no, because it used to be in season 5 that you could only get one. You could only get each Nemesis ghost once per session, and that's not true anymore. It does cycle through all of them in the current session, and then once you get to that point, I think it resets and continues to cycle through. I suspect that it doesn't let you get 2 of the same, but I don't know that for a fact. Del Taco. Maybe I should get some Mexican food. Sounds good. I wonder when that place closes. Hang on. Let me do some investigating. Does it say? Fuck, it doesn't say. I'll figure it out. Free shavocado? The hell is that? Hunts? I don't know anything about that. I haven't done them at all. I mean, I guess I know, like, in general, the hunts are SR, but with celestials instead of normal enemies. So celestial bosses that scale. Free shavocado. Am I chanting a magic spell? What the fuck? what you're talking about. 24 hours a day. Oh, we don't have any of that, dude. Here. Anyway, that's the tree. Fresh avocado? Oh. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Vine knowledge? I'm not that old, man. Fuck. No, I'm just kidding. I am that. I'm old enough that I didn't do Vine at all. Vine grows on a fucking fence. Vine is not a... I'm old, okay? Fuck. Anyway, so I filled out the tree as much as I want to, and I'm gonna stash the rest of my essences. When you get a character that's like nice and comfy and well built, and you have your tree, you can stash essences for the next guy, so you don't gotta fuck around with rebuilding it next time. There you go. That's the tutorial.